Stephanie Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I have an incredible episode for you all today, and we're talking about what is happening when you're posting consistently. You feel like you're creating a lot of value. You feel like you're showing up online a lot, yet nobody is buying, nobody's booking consults, nobody's reaching out to you, or it feels very few and far between. This is what you're going to do to troubleshoot that, okay? So I created this as a Instagram post initially. You can find it on my feed. And what I want to do in this episode is really break down everything I can't fit into a little carousel post, because this post has garnered so much engagement, a lot of saves, a lot of, people reaching out and saying thank you and that it resonates with them. And I think that I'm actually going to add a couple of bonus things in here as well that I didn't have space to fit inside this carousel. So if you've seen this post on my feed, just know that I'm adding a couple things in here that are not actually in the post. So stay tuned to the end, where I'm going to break that down for you. Okay. So this is a really helpful podcast episode to turn to when you feel like you're speaking to crickets, or when there's a lot of volume going out and yet people are not responding in the way that you would like them to. For example, booking sales calls with you, reaching out in the DMs, filling out applications, whatever your sales process might look like, they're not reaching out in that way at all. Okay, so you want to kind of go through this almost like a checklist of things that you can do. So let's get into it. Number one, you really want to identify the difference between content for engagement versus content for sales. Now, I really want to be explicit about this because I think it can be really easy to get caught up on social media when you're creating content, thinking that it's just content for the sake of entertainment, for the sake of engagement, for the sake of going viral, right? Like that's what you might think creates clients. Like, oh, if I have this post that goes viral, then so-and-so many people from this audience might follow me and they might turn into sales. Now, I want to explain how that's not necessarily the case from someone who's been an influencer, a content creator, has worked with brands, and I've gone viral many, many, many times, and it has not necessarily turned into clients. So it sounds really good, right? Like, okay, if I go viral, then my account will be shown to so many people. I'll get so many followers. I actually had a post go viral, and I actually did get quite a lot of followers from that post going viral. It actually went to over 28 million people, which I was like, I don't even know how that happened. It was just such a simple, it's actually pinned to my reels just because I think it's extraordinarily ridiculous. But I can tell you, beyond the really mean comments that I got and messages, none of it really turned into any clients. And a lot of the people that ended up following me, they all ended up kind of unfollowing over time. I'm sure there's still, a chunk of them that are still there hanging around. But a lot of them just ended up kind of unfollowing over time because it was just kind of this like frenzy, right? Of like, oh, it's shown to so many people, but those people aren't necessarily the people I even want to serve. So they might follow me thinking I'm just going to create more content like that. But in reality, I posted it when I was in Hawaii on a mommy and me trip with my daughter. And I'm not going to continue posting content like that, right? I'm not an influencer anymore. I'm not a content creator anymore. I'm definitely not a travel blogger. I'm a coach. I'm a business. And so people are going to be turned off by the very sales focused posts I'm going to create, thinking that they followed me as a content creator, right? And typically your content that you create to create clients is not really going to go viral. Like, I'm just going to tell you that right now. When you are selling, it typically isn't something. Can it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, probably more than ever. But should that be your focus? No. Right? Because typically when there is a piece of content that goes viral, it when something goes viral, it means that it is being watched by so many people within the first couple of moments. And typically that means it's really engaging and entertaining. And entertaining doesn't equal sales. For the most part, it absolutely can. And sometimes it happens with specific businesses. But as a service provider, speaking to a really, niche focused audience, you're not necessarily looking for your content to go viral. And sometimes I think we look at it as a cop out, because we think, oh, if something just goes viral, it takes away all of the work I have to put into it to actually learn how to market and sell. You have to learn how to market and sell in order to make sales in your business, right? You can't just hope on and bank on going viral in order for your content to be seen by your people. So that's number one, is really identify the difference between content for engagement versus content for sales. Okay. Number two, do a content audit. Like, if you are the person who I was speaking to in the beginning of this episode, where you have been posting over and over and over, and you feel like you're dropping value every single day, you're sending out emails, you're showing up on stories, you're on your feed, and yet people still aren't buying from you, I think it's time for an audit. How much of your content is actively, explicitly speaking to your best clients? Or are you speaking to a general group of people? Or even worse, you're thinking about your worst clients, or people that'll never buy from you, thinking, oh, what are they going to think? What are my ex-coworkers going to think? What is my mom going to think? Right? These people are never going to buy from you. You're just worried about what they might think of you, which is not useful at all. Right? So do a content audit, and even ask yourself, as you're reading through your content, as you're reading through your copy, what was I telling myself here? What was I thinking here? What was going through my brain here? Right? This is a really great way to be on to yourself around the content that you create and the thoughts behind it. Because again, your thoughts, your energy, this is what powers your content. All right. So you want to ask yourself, how many posts have you actively stated how your best clients can work with you? Okay. Who this is for, what their main issue is, the solution that you provide, the transformation, the pricing, the exact action to take, aka book a call, fill out an application, etc. Are you that explicit in your content, or is it just kind of fluffy, general, vanilla content? All right. Number three, you aren't thinking about their afterthoughts. Now, this is what I mean when I use the term afterthoughts. They will have these micro thoughts and feelings that come up for them after they decide that they want to learn more about your offer, right? So say that they've been following you for a while, they've been following along on your posts and your content, and they see one post one day after, I don't know, several weeks, months, right? Sometimes years. That's definitely happened to me. And they go, okay, I think it's time to work with this person. Now, they have that thought, and that thought is real for them. But what's also real is their brain telling them things like that right afterwards, such as, oh, but what if this doesn't work for me? Do I have time for this? Am I worthy of prioritizing this in my life? What will people think? Am I so uniquely screwed up that this person can't help me? What if they don't know my specific situation? What if this is for somebody else? Right? Think about these thoughts, these afterthoughts that could be coming up for your best clients. Now, I don't want you to think about it in terms of your worst clients, right? Your worst clients will have things like, oh, like, I don't, I can't afford it, right? Like they'll tell themselves all these things like, oh, is this person even legit? Blah, blah, blah. Like those are not the thoughts that you want to address. Okay. We're talking about your best clients who are already like, yep, I'm there. I trust them, this person. I trust myself. I'm ready to invest. I have the money. I'm ready to do this. I'm going to create space for this in my life, but they're still human. They still have these thoughts that are standing in the way. What are those thoughts? That's your work. That is essentially all you're ever doing in marketing and also in sales. Like I'm a big proponent that like sales is marketing, marketing is sales, right? Say that to my students a lot. So what is it that's happening here that is stopping them from buying? It's like when you go shopping and you see this really beautiful outfit, okay? And you're like, oh my God, it's amazing. I could totally see myself in this. And then you have these thoughts of like, what if it's not flattering on my body type? Oh, what if I, wear it once and I don't get a lot of use out of it? Oh, where would I even wear this to? You have these thoughts after you decide that you want it, right? So I want you to constantly be thinking that your entire audience always wants it. You're always in demand. Your audience is always on the verge of buying. How would you show up differently if you constantly believed that your audience was always on the verge of buying? And the only thing you have to do is speak to that tiny little micro thought or feeling that's stopping them from hitting book a call or hitting purchase or hitting submit on the application. Like that is your only job ever, is to guess and figure out what that thought is, what that feeling is, what's coming up for them. Speak to that and they're all in. Okay? So that's how I want you to be thinking about this. What is stopping them? They want to book a consult. They want it. They do want this. What is stopping them? What can you say about your offer, your service, even talking about the consult call, even talking about the application, right? Like I do applications for my mastermind, for Magic Mind, which is my advanced room for coaches who want to grow to 6 figures, right? And I have them fill out an application and I tell them how to prep for it. Like I literally prep them for the application. I'm like, okay, have this ready, have your revenue ready, right? It's okay if you're on the fence when you hit submit. You don't necessarily always have to feel 100%, right? Like we'll talk it through, we'll have a call after, blah, blah, blah. Like I tell them all these things so that when they approach the application, they're like, okay, they kind of do feel a little bit on the fence, right? But they know it's okay because I've already said like, hey, if you're on the fence, don't worry about it. Just send in the application. Like when you answer the questions, you'll get so much clarity, right? Like I literally tell them how to walk through the application. Okay. So don't forget about that. All right. Number 4. Number 4 is you aren't clearly showing them who they can become after working with you. Now, I want you to picture the scene from The Little Mermaid where Ursula has her crystal ball. I don't remember who she's even with. I think she uses it a couple of times where she shows like visions through the crystal ball of like what's happening in the future, or I think what's happening in the present. It's been a long time since I've seen The Little Mermaid, but I'm sure most of you can remember the scene if you've seen The Little Mermaid. So that's what I want you to think about, is like you're literally showing them a crystal ball that reveals visions of their future. All right. Like, I want you to be thinking constantly about detailed descriptions and visions of who they will become after working with you. Because here's the thing. People do not buy from you because you've got this incredible 5-step process. Like, please have the process, right? We all have some type of process that we use in our coaching, in our services, and that's a good thing. However, people don't buy because of your process. They buy because of the person they become after working through your process. And so many times I've bought courses or I've worked with coaches where I didn't even know their process. I didn't even need to know or want to know in some cases. I just wanted the transformation at the end of the program. Whatever process they want to put me through, I will do it because I want the transformation that badly. So when you're speaking in your content just about we have this many calls, we meet at this time, or if it's one-on-one, like we have this many one-on-one calls and this is what we do, and here's how coaching works, and here's the support you get in between on Voxer or Slack or whatever, right? You spend so much time talking about those little details when really what they want to hear and what they want to know is who they will become after working with you. And when you spend most of your time really sitting there, I call it with my students the embodied zone, because it's a person that they've embodied after working with you. It's an embodiment. Embody literally means in body, right? They've accepted and they've integrated this version of themselves into their body. So after they work with you, what is the embodied zone that they are now living? What is possible for them now that wasn't possible before? What results do they have now that they were not able to have in the past? That is what you want to speak to. That is what is really important. And not just that, you want to be so clear. You want to be so descriptive that they can visualize themselves there, right? This is why I bring up the crystal ball example, is because you want to kind of check with yourself. Do they see themselves as clearly as if I were presenting them a crystal ball with visions of their future, and they see themselves in those visions? Okay, here's an example. So if you were a dating or relationship coach, you might say something along the lines of, have you been stood up for the second Friday night in a row by a Tinder date, flaking, and you're wondering how you're going to meet your person if they don't literally just magically show up on your doorstep? You want to join my 6-month one-on-one dating program to meet your match in 6 months. By next summer, you can be vacationing together in Greece, Mykonos. You can be in Italy. You can be in Barcelona with your soulmates and have a cute holiday card to send your family by Christmas or by the winter season. Like, they're thinking about Greece or Mykonos. They're thinking about how many times they've sat on their couch. They might even look around their living room and be like, how do they know that? Like, are they like, how are they? Are you here? Are you in the room with me? Like, you want to be so crystal clear that your client goes, whoa. Like, it's a feeling where they're like, wow, this person really sees me. This person really understands me, right? Like, let's just face it. We're marketing for the most part, most of us at least, on social media. We only have a relationship that goes so far, right? Until they jump on a consult call with you, until you jump on your first coaching call after they've paid and signed the contract and all these things, there isn't really a relationship. It's like a parasocial relationship, right? It's kind of like a relationship we have with like celebrities, for example. right? We kind of see what's going on. They kind of talk to us, but we don't really have an intimate relationship with them. And so you, as the coach, as the service provider, as the business owner, you have to be so clear in your marketing when you speak to your best clients so that they feel like, oh my gosh, this person really sees me. Like, this person really understands me. This person is a really great coach for me to work with because XYZ, right? You want that to be so clear to them that they can feel it in their bodies. And the way we do that is by writing really great marketing copy, really clear visions that you are handing to your best clients that they can look at and be like, wow, yes, oh my gosh, I do want this. This makes so much sense, right? It's like you want to help them like have all these light bulb moments and breakthrough moments in their head before even working with you. And you do that through writing really great copy. This is something that we work on. I teach in BAA, and then we master it in Magic Mind, where we go through like copy challenges and sales challenges and fast cash challenges and really like feedback, intimate feedback on your copy and writing really, really great copy in the mastermind. That's something that I really want each of my students to walk away with, that skill of writing really great converting copy, right? Not just creating entertaining, engaging content, but creating content that creates clients. That's what we're here to do. Okay. I'm going to give you another example before we move into number five. So this is actually something that I worked on with one of my Magic Mind students. Her name is Brooke. If you're listening to this episode, hi, Brooke. So Brooke is a personal stylist, and she incorporates manifestation into her services, into her offers, into her work as a stylist, which I think is incredible. And what we worked on in the live event was we worked on getting her copy. We do something in Magic Mind called your EM, which is your embodied method. So it takes you through a couple of steps in order to get really clear on exactly what you're offering your students, exactly what the issue is, exactly the solution that you offer them, the transformation, really setting up this vision. And it helps you to create copy that is super clear and really, really, it really speaks to your best clients. So this is one of the pieces of copy that we worked on through her embodied method inside the Magic Mind live event. You are hiding behind wearing all black clothes every day because you feel unworthy to be seen and have attention on you. Through my signature style manifestation program, you will learn how to dress that expresses yourself naturally and is in alignment to your energetic coding. You will never lay out a gorgeous ensemble in the morning to wear for the day, only to opt for the same black leggings, black shirt combo again, because you're afraid of being seen as all of you. If this is you, book a consult call with me today. We can up level your style together, right? Do you see how that is so clear to somebody who's probably walked through that same example in their bedroom or their closet, looking at the outfit they bought and they haven't even worn yet that they really want to wear, and they just haven't had a chance to because of whatever reason that's stopping them, and helping them realize that, well, it's your thoughts and your beliefs about yourself and being seen that's stopping you, right? Like, you can have that scenario look completely different. I think giving really specific examples and detailed descriptions really helps somebody to see exactly where they are and how that situation could have been handled differently, right? Because that's what they want. They just don't really know how to do it on their own. right? Like they lay out the ensemble thinking that they're going to wear that outfit, right? With the accessories and the pants and the shirt or whatever it might be. And then they don't. And they don't know why they don't, right? But here you are explaining it to them like, hey, this is just what's happening. It's okay. It's normal. This happens to all of us at some point. And here's how we can work on your confidence and your ability to XYZ, right? Like, I'm not a personal stylist. I'm just pulling this idea out, right? But like, see how, like, oh, this is something we can work on. And you will never have to worry about this again. You will never have to worry about picking between an outfit that feels super, super safe that you're going to be hidden in versus an outfit you really want to wear, right? Like, how amazing is that? All right. Number 5 is there's no urgency in your content, and that's why people aren't buying. It's always going to feel like a maybe later type of energy with your people unless you create some loving urgency for them to buy. Now, I want to be really clear. I do not mean make something up and say like, oh, there's only 2 spots left when really there isn't. Like, I'm not saying lie to your people. I'm saying give them a reason, like sell them on why this is something they want to prioritize right now, today, instead of 6 months down the line or a year down the line. Like, sell them on why it's the best time for them to work on themselves now, right? Every single one of you went into coaching so you can help people and so you can help them live a better life, right? That's why we do what we do, because our lives are changed. And now what we're doing is we're offering that to our people. And aren't you glad that you came through this transformation for yourself sooner rather than later? I always like to say that I'm so glad that I worked on myself and went to therapy and did the inner healing, as Alaska is still a young child, so that I didn't have to do it years down the road after maybe she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Or like when she's an adult and then I'm focusing on myself. Like, no, I'm working on it now so that I don't create more childhood trauma for her. Right. Like, I mean, we're all as parents going to create some level of like none of us are going to be perfect, right? But I'm so glad that I learned all of this while she was still very, very young, right? And I'm grateful for that because I was open to doing this work. So just think about, for you, like, why would they want to wait another year to feel happier? Why would they want to wait another year to feel more confident? Why would they want to wait another year to start eating healthier? This is why they want to do it now, right? And you might be thinking, well, shouldn't they already like want that, or shouldn't they already know that? Well, it might not be as top of mind for them as it is for you as the coach, right? Like, you might see this very clearly, but they might not necessarily be thinking about it in the same way for many different reasons, right? Like, you go into coaching because you have a certain level of skills and you also have a way of thinking about this that is so helpful for you that you are able to prioritize this in your life, and that makes it easier for you. And your students, your clients might not have that same advantage or privilege in their life. They might have these thoughts that are stopping them from getting help in this specific area. So that's something you want to think about, is like, even if they want to do it, they might not feel like it's possible for them. This is again where you want to come in and really speak to how this is possible for them and that they're not uniquely fucked up. All right, the last one from the carousel post, I do have more to share, is you have unhelpful thoughts about selling, and that's why you're not making any sales. If you are going to create content, but your thoughts are, am I coming off sleazy? Is this too salesy? What is so-and-so going to think? Or was that too much? I don't want this person or that person to think this about me. I want to remind you, you're a business, okay? Sales are the oxygen for your business. You're gonna sell, right? You're gonna have to get over, for a lack of like better phrasing, you're gonna have to get over it. All right. And I say this with so much love because I want you to make so much money and I want you to be happy in your business. But you are going to have to work on and honestly, the best way to do this is just to sell more and just to create this familiarity and this routine consistency around selling. Right? It feels so heavy because you're like spinning in inaction. You're spinning in mind drama and it's creating inaction. So you're not doing anything about it. And you're just sitting there thinking and reeling about it in your own head, but not actually doing anything about it. And it's stopping you from making money. It's stopping you from being the go-to in your industry. And I want you to cut that shit out right now. I'm serious. All right. This is something we've got to get over. This is like old news. All right. This is just you are meant to be an incredible leader and authority in your field. And in order to do that, you have to get really comfortable with selling. You have to work on being a great salesperson, right? You never want your favorite restaurant to stop selling to you, right? Like Fashion Nova sends out like 3 emails a day. They send out a bunch of texts if you're on their text messaging list. I went to a hair spa last month and they just texted me about a promo and I was like, "Oh, yes, amazing. I've been meaning to book another appointment." And I got to book another appointment. Right? Consider that your people want to be sold to. Your best clients already want what you have to offer. You're always speaking to your best, most aligned clients. They already want this. Remember what I said earlier about they're always on the verge of buying from you. You just have to speak to that one thought or feeling that's standing in the way, and boom, they're in. But you have to take the time to figure out what that is. You have to take the time to show up and be seen. You have to take the time to allow yourself to be in that spotlight for your clients. Help them to bridge the gap between where they are and where they want to be. You are here to help them do that. They haven't done it because they might not know how to, or they know how to, but they have all these thoughts standing in the way. They don't think they're good enough. They don't think they can prioritize this, right? Like, you want to go into this with a lot of compassion, a lot of love, and just be direct and explicit in your selling. All right. That's another thing that I've touched on a little bit here in this episode and in these posts or in these steps. But one of them is explicitly selling, telling them exactly who you serve, how you serve them. What is the cart open and cart close date? What is the urgency, right? Sell them on this. Be really explicitly clear and actively sell them. Don't just put it in a little like, I mean, you can do this, of course, but like, don't just have tons and tons of posts where it's just a little, "Oh, P.S. by the way, if you want to sell for me, like here, click the link in my bio. Okay, bye." Like, no, make the whole post a sales post. I don't care if it only gets 10 likes. When I was launching Magic Mind, I think some of the posts had like 20 to 30 likes. Like the lowest likes I typically ever get is when I'm selling. But it's okay. I had a near 6-figure fucking launch. That's why I don't care. That is why I don't care about the likes or going viral, because I know that I am speaking to my best people, and that is how my business makes money. That is how I serve my best people in my containers. Is when I'm actively selling and I'm not worried about the metrics, I'm not worried about the insights, I'm not worried about being entertaining. I'm a business. I am here to sell you. And if someone doesn't like that, they know where they can go. The unfollow button is right there, right? But the people who are in my community, they want to be sold to. And I love being sold to. I can decide that I want to be in a program and yet drink up and soak up every single marketing email that goes out, every single social post, go through the entire story highlights that they've saved on their feed about the program. I'll do it all because I'm like, ooh, I love being sold to. It's just so exciting. It's so enticing. It's like a seductive, beautiful game that we get to play, right? Like, it's so fun when you look at it from that way of like, yeah, sales is just like defining the relationship. It's like, oh, we've been flirting and making eyes across the room, right? But now it's like, hey, it's clear. Do you want to go back to my place or not? Right? It's like, oh, we've been hanging out for a while, but now it's like, no, I want to be official with you. Right? It's taking the relationship to the next level, and that is sexy. It is sexy, it is seductive, it is intimate, it is so much fun. I love selling. I love selling to my people, and I want you to love selling just as much. I want you to get turned on and excited by selling to your people and not have it feel like it is this drain. Because when you do that, when you love selling, you sell so much. You make so much money. Every time you sell, you make sales. Every time you show up and explicitly tell people what you have to offer, and you do that in the right way, through really getting good at mastering your copy and mastering your marketing, and then being really great at converting people on sales calls or however you sell to them, you make money, you make sales. Every time I sell, I make sales. That's why I love it so much. It's so much fun. All right. So you want to be really explicit that you're selling and get okay with it. You are a business. All right. This is what you're here to do. It's never going to stop. And your best people, they don't ever want you to stop. It not only sells future people into your containers, it sells future people for future rounds and future containers. And it also sells existing clients on why they made an incredible decision on investing with you. That is just how good it is. When you are that good at selling, when you're so clear about selling, it sells everyone. And then yourself, it builds up your self-concepts and your confidence as a coach, and helping you redefine and solidify your coaching process and your copy. You get good at selling by selling. That is how you get good at it. All right. Okay. The last one is, have you assumed anything? I think one of the biggest, I'm probably going to do an entire podcast episode on this, but I think one of the biggest killer of sales is entitlement and assumption. Assuming that, oh, they already know about it. Everyone's already heard about it. All the people in my audience already know, and they're just not buying from me. No, stop it. Do not think this way, and do not fall into this trap of they already know. It's either like they already know and they're not buying, or, oh, they're already sold. Like, you go into a launch thinking they're already sold. Don't really need to do much. Like, I've already had people reach out to me. Like, I've already sold these spots. Like, boom, done. I'm living as if, woo, like, I got to celebrate and pop champagne right now. Right. And there isn't anything wrong with living as if, because I teach that in manifestation. But the way it can work against you and backfire is when you believe it's already done and then you don't sell your people. When you believe it's already done and you don't show up and do the work. When you believe it's already done and you don't intentionally go out there and show up and sell explicitly. Sometimes we get a couple of messages, we have a couple sales calls booked, or we've pre-launched it to a couple of people, and then we're like, oh, it's so many people want this. It's good. It's done. Yeah. One bucket of people have been sold, which is probably the, like, the The people who are like, yep, I'm already in, like I'm paid in full. Like each round of Magic Mind, I've had a couple of students who are like, take my money, I'm ready to go, I'm paying full, just take it now. I want to save my spot. And I'm like, okay, amazing. But there's also a middle group of people who just need a little bit of selling to. Like they need you to sell to them. Like literally, they are waiting for you to sell to them. Right? Like they sign up for the email list, they're on there, or they're watching your stories, posts. They're not jumping in right away like the first bucket, but they need to be sold to a little bit. They're waiting for you to sell them. Right? They need to know a little more. They want to feel a little bit more comfortable before they hit the trigger. Like they're getting there, but you need to help them get there. And when you tell yourself they're all just already sold, you lump all of these people into that first bucket of like, yep, they're in, they're already in. But then there's bucket number 2 and bucket number 3, where these people need to be sold to. And these people just found you and they have no idea what you're talking about, right? Typically, people in bucket number 3 don't buy for this round or this season, this sales cycle, but you're selling them on future rounds. Every single time I launch Magic Mind, I'm selling not just for the current round I'm launching, but for future rounds. I want you to always be thinking about that. Whenever you do a launch, you're launching for all of your future students as well. So, do you see how there is a thought error when you bunch all these people into one bucket and just sign it away and put a little bow on top and be like, they're sold? Yay! Right? It forces you out of all of the work you need to do to explicitly sell to them. You still have to show up and sell every single launch, no matter how much money you're making. No matter how much money you're making, no matter where you are in your business, you still have to explicitly sell. Are some things going to get easier? Of course. Are there some things that you're going to create as a process and an SOP for your team that you're just going to replicate that works really well? Of course. But you still have to actively, explicitly sell every single launch, right? What if like each launch of Magic Mind or BAA, I just like open the doors, everyone already knows, they know, right? And all I do is just like, oh, just put out the dates and okay, everyone just come in. It doesn't work like that, right? I'm sure that some of us would love if it worked like that. But you want to love selling so much that you're like, oh, I love launching. I love selling. I love selling to my people. They love being sold to. I love talking about my offer, right? Like you want that to be something that you just continue and grow at. It's just going to be a constant thing in your business. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing that you get to sell to your people. Okay? So I really want to leave you with that. Make no assumptions. I hope this inspires you to go into your content and ask yourself if you've been showing up in this way. If not, then you've got some work to do. And you know what your work is now after this episode. I would re-listen to this episode. Like if I were you and I wasn't seeing sales coming in, I would save this episode. I would re-listen to it. Also share it on your stories if you have Instagram and you follow me and you want to tag me, that would be amazing. But I would re-listen to this episode and I would take notes. If you were driving the first time or you're cooking dinner, or you're on a walk or whatever it is, I would take notes and I would go through your content with the notes by your side and ask yourself, okay, what haven't I done? What have I done? What have I been skimping on? What have I assumed? Right? Never assume anything. Number 1 rule of sales, never assume anything. Don't assume that they know anything. Every single time I talk about Magic Mind or BAA, I always talk about what it is. I assume nobody knows. I assume there's at least like 10% of the people looking that have no idea. I have never seen me talk about it, brand new to my audience, or they've just missed all the other posts. Like I always just reiterate, this is what BAA is. And this is what Magic Mind is. Okay? Because people are distractible. They're following thousands of other people on Instagram. They've got tons of things going on in their life. I don't expect them, even if they knew what BAA was, maybe like from a previous post, that they necessarily remember. They might, but in case they don't, here it is, right? I'm very clear and explicit every single time I sell. And that is what makes it so easy for me to sell and for my people to buy. All right. Okay. Now, if you are a coach, if you are a service provider, if you are a spirit led business owner, you are a cycle breaker in your family, you are doing work that is connected to your soul's purpose, I invite you to join us inside Business Activation Academy. This is my fundamental program for coaches learning how to sell. If you haven't made your first 5K or your first 10K in your business, or maybe you've been in business for a while and, sales have kind of trickled in over time, but it hasn't felt consistent. Like you have some high months, but then you have low months and it feels kind of hot and cold, kind of just up and down. You're not really sure exactly what's causing it or what you're doing wrong, and you would love to be coached by me, we have bi-monthly live coaching calls inside BAA, and you also get access to 6 modules that teach you how to sell, how to design your offer, how to conduct sales calls, how to navigate objections when they come up for you with your clients, mindset around selling. We have a different theme every single month that helps you to focus on a different area, core area of your business that helps you to grow your business, make effortless sales, make money, and create the life of freedom that I know that you want. So if you are a new coach that's just starting out, or you've started your coaching business but you're just not seeing that income that you'd like to see, maybe you're not on track for your revenue goal for 2023, I got you. I would love to coach you inside BAA. Again, it's 6 core modules, lifetime access. You get live coaching calls with me. So you can literally enroll today and you can join us for the next coaching call, which is actually this Wednesday, October 18th. And the next coaching call after that is going to be in November, on November 1st. So come and join us. Let me coach you. If you are listening to this episode and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a little in over my head. I feel like I've been doing a lot of these things. I'm not sure what's not working. I think it's time to hire a coach. Hiring coaches in my business have been such cheat codes for me. It has literally been the shift from me bringing in barely any money and not knowing what's going wrong to having my highest cash months and having incredibly successful sales and launches where my clients literally say the words, "Take my money. I'm ready to pay in full." So if that's not happening in your business, I invite you to join us inside BAA, where you will learn how to sell. You will learn how to sell effortlessly in your business. It doesn't have to feel like pulling teeth, I promise you. You can tell just by the way I love talking about sales and how it gets me excited and it feels so sexy, and it's just this like very magnetic, joyful thing for me. And if sales doesn't feel like that for you, join us inside BAA. All right. I will coach you personally. And we have a Facebook group that's always open, a private Facebook group where you get to post and get coached literally anytime you want. And it's an incredible community. Actually, I just got a message from one of my BAA students today. Maria, if you're listening to this, hi, love you. She sent me a message that said, finding you and joining BAA was one of the biggest trajectory shifts of my life, one of the biggest risks I'd taken on myself, and biggest investments of my own money. one decision I'll never regret because I look at how my life has evolved since that time I joined. It's been beyond exponential. I could not have anticipated whatsoever where it's taken me, and not at all in the form I had in my mind. I took those forms and blasted them into a sparkly, magical dust, and I'm rebuilding it according to me, my magic, and my design, my alignment. Thank you. Yeah, it is an incredible joy to watch my students build businesses that they love. But honestly, it's not even that. It's not even the money. It's not even the clients. It is watching my clients. It's watching business owners do something they love so much and create financial freedom and have this freedom in their lives that they've never had before. Watching my students come home to themselves as business owners has been astronomical. Like, I wouldn't trade that for anything. So if you are a business owner, you are a coach, you are a service provider that works with clients, and you want to come in here and learn how to sell, and you want to see your coaching business take off, it's okay if you've been in business for a while and you feel like you've tried a lot of things or you're not really sure what's going wrong. Let's talk. All right. The link to enroll in BAA is in the show notes. And if you want to talk this through, you have some concerns or you have some things you would just like to bring to me, DM me on Instagram at tiffanychung.co. I will help you decide whether or not this is a good fit for you and your business. All right. Okay. I will leave you all with that. Thank you so much for joining in on this episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a 5-star rating on Apple. It really helps me be shown to more people so I can serve more incredible women of color, generational cycle breakers, spirit-led, spiritual, witchy coaches. All of you are my people and help you to make more money. And if you'd like, you can also share this to your stories. Let me know that you're listening and I will reshare it to my stories. It means so much to me. All right. I love you all and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.